The Broken Flower Pot, Edward Bullier Lytton. My father was seated on the lawn before the house, his straw hat over his eyes and his book on his lap. Suddenly a beautiful blue and white flower pot, which had been set on the window-sill of an upper story, fell to the ground with a crash, and the fragments flew up round my father's feet. But he continued to read, being much interested in his book. "Dear, dear," cried my mother, who was at work on the porch. "My poor flower pot that I prize so much. I would rather the best tea set were broken, the poor geranium I reared myself, and the dear, dear flower pot which Mr. Caxton bought for me on my last birthday. That naughty child must have done this." I came out of the house as bold as brass and said rapidly, "Yes, mother, it was I who pushed out the flower pot." "Hush," said the nurse, while gazing at my father, who had very slowly taken off his hat and was looking on with serious, wide-awake eyes. "Hush, and if he did break it, ma'am, it was quite an accident. He was standing so, and he never meant it. Did you? Speak!" Then in a whisper, "or father will be so very angry." "Well," said my mother, "I suppose it was an accident. Take care in the future, my child. You are sorry, I see, to have grieved me. There's a kiss. Don't fret." "No, mother, you must not kiss me. I don't deserve it. I pushed out the flower pot on purpose." "Ah, and why?" said my father, walking up. "For fun," said I, hanging my head, "just to see how you'd look, father, and that's the truth of it." My father dropped his book, stooped down, and caught me in his arms. "Boy," he said, "you have done wrong, but you shall repair it by remembering all your life that your father blessed God for giving him a son who spoke truth in spite of fear." Not long after this event, Mr. Squills gave me a beautiful large domino box in cut ivory, painted and gilded. This domino box was my delight. I was never tired of playing at dominoes with the old nurse, Mrs. Primmins, and I slept with the box under my pillow. "Ah," said my father one day when he found me arranging the ivory pieces in the parlor, "do you like that better than all your playthings?" "Oh, yes, father." "You would be very sorry if mother were to throw that box out of the window and break it for fun." I looked pleadingly at my father and made no answer. "But perhaps you would be very glad," he went on, "if suddenly one of those good fairies you read of could change the domino box into a beautiful geranium in a lovely blue and white flower pot. Then you could have the pleasure of putting it on your mother's window-sill." "Indeed I would," said I, half crying. "My dear boy, I believe you, but good wishes don't mend bad actions. Good actions mend bad actions." So saying, he shut the door and went out. I cannot tell you how puzzled I was to make out what my father meant. "My boy," said he next day, "I'm going to walk to town. Will you come? And by the by, fetch your domino box. I should like to show it to a person there." "Father," said I by the way, "there are no fairies now. How then can my domino box be changed into geranium in a blue and white flower pot?" "My dear," said my father, putting his hand on my shoulder, "everybody who is in earnest to be good carries two fairies about with him, one here," and he touched my forehead, "and one here," and he touched my heart." "I don't understand, father." "I can wait until you do, my son." My father stopped at a nursery gardener's, and after looking over the flowers, paused before a large double geranium. "Ah, this is finer than that which your mother was so fond of. What is the price of this, sir?" "Only 7 shillings and 6 pence," said the gardener. My father closed his pocketbook. "I can't afford it today," said he gently, and we walked out. On entering the town, we stopped again at a china warehouse. "Have you a flower pot like that I bought some months ago?" "Ah, here's one, marked 3 shillings and 6 pence. Yes, that is the price." "Well, when mother's birthday comes again, we must buy her another. That is some months to wait." "And we can wait, my boy. For truth that blooms all the year round is better than a poor geranium, and a word that is never broken is better than a piece of china." My head, which had been drooping before, rose again, but the rush of joy at my heart almost choked me. "I have called to pay your little bill," said my father, entering a shop where all kinds of pretty toys and knickknacks were sold. "And by the way," he added, "my little boy can show you a beautiful domino box." I produced my treasure, and the shopman praised it highly. "It is always well, my boy," continued my father, to know what a thing is worth in case one wishes to part with it. If my son gets tired of his plaything, what will you give him for it?" "Why, sir," said the shopman, "I think we could give 18 shillings for it." "18 shillings," said my father. "You would give that? Well, my boy, whenever you do grow tired of your box, you have my leave to sell it." My father paid his bill and went out. I lingered a few moments and joined him at the end of the street. "Father, father," I cried, clapping my hands, "we can buy the geranium. We can buy the flower pot." And I pulled a handful of silver from my pocket. "Did I not say right?" said my father. "You have found the 2 fairies." Ah, how proud, how overjoyed I was, when after placing vase and flower on the window sill, I plucked my mother by the gown and made her follow me to the spot. "It is his doing and his money," said my father. "Good actions have mended the bad."